The finale of Georgie and Mandy's First Marriage Season 1 has arrived, bringing with it all the charm, heart, and a generous dose of nostalgic warmth that fans of young Sheldon in The Big Bang Theory have come to adore. But in its emotional climax and satisfying wrap-up of key character arcs, the finale has unwittingly done something else. It has deepened a long-standing continuity error from The Big Bang Theory, turning a small crack in the canon into a full-blown crater. To understand how we got here, we need to rewind to the geeky sanctum of Pasadena, where Sheldon Cooper once regaled his friends with tales of his eccentric upbringing in Texas. Over the course of The Big Bang Theory, Sheldon referenced his family multiple times. While those anecdotes often offered comic relief or poignant insights, they were usually broad sketches, sometimes inconsistent, sometimes exaggerated. But there's one statement in particular that has haunted fans for years. Sheldon claimed that his older brother Georgie was a womanizing, underachieving hothead who never really got his act together until much later in life. In The Big Bang Theory, Sheldon describes Georgie as the dumb one of the family, the sibling who spent his youth chasing girls and never quite growing up. In contrast, young Sheldon and its spin-off, Georgie and Mandy's First Marriage, paint a radically different picture. A Georgie who, while not academically gifted, is earnest, hardworking, and fiercely loyal. The Georgie of First Marriage is no mere comic relief. He's a complex, endearing character who has matured rapidly in the face of unexpected fatherhood and emotional responsibility. And in the Season 1 finale, that development hits a milestone. Georgie and Mandy tie the knot in a touching ceremony surrounded by loved ones, solidifying their bond and embracing their shared future. The problem? This version of Georgie, the devoted young father and now husband, feels worlds apart from the slacker Sheldon once described. The finale amplifies this dissonance, showing us a man who, despite being in his early 20s, has already demonstrated more maturity and emotional intelligence than Sheldon had acknowledged in any version of the story. In fact, it's becoming harder to reconcile the two timelines at all. Let's talk specifics. In The Big Bang Theory, Sheldon mentions that he hasn't been close with Georgie in years, suggesting a strained, even non-existent relationship. He even refers to a period where they weren't speaking. Yet, in young Sheldon, and now in First Marriage, we see moments of genuine connection between the two brothers. Georgie may poke fun at Sheldon, but he often acts as a protective older brother. And Sheldon, for all his quirks, shows a measure of admiration for Georgie's tenacity, particularly in how he handles life's unexpected hurdles. Now, with Georgie, married to Mandy, and stepping confidently into adulthood, the show seems to be crafting a redemption arc that doesn't need redeeming. He's not a cautionary tale. He's the everyman hero of his own coming-of-age story. So how does this square with Sheldon's oft-repeated narrative of a brother who was a deadbeat until long after Sheldon became a celebrated physicist? The easy answer would be to chalk it up to unreliable narration. Sheldon is, after all, famously egocentric and prone to hyperbole. Perhaps his view of Georgie was distorted by their sibling rivalry, or perhaps it was a coping mechanism, minimizing Georgie's achievements to justify his own superiority complex. But First Marriage isn't treating Georgie's character development as a matter of perception. It's treating it as canon. It's telling us, in no uncertain terms, that Georgie had his life together well before Sheldon's tales of dysfunction started circulating at Caltech. This creates a layered dilemma. On one hand, it's wonderful to see Georgie get his due. His transformation into a grounded partner and caring father adds emotional resonance and narrative depth to the Cooper family's story. But on the other, the more noble and capable Georgie becomes the less plausible Sheldon's earlier accounts seem. The finale drives this home with moments of self-reflection, gentle humor, and genuine warmth, elements that further humanize Georgie while alienating him from his Big Bang portrayal. In a broader sense, this speaks to the challenges inherent in expanding a universe retroactively. The Big Bang Theory laid the foundation, but its spin-offs are building a more intricate, emotionally intelligent superstructure. In doing so, they risk collapsing under the weight of their own continuity. Every time young Sheldon or First Marriage makes a bold narrative choice, it pulls at the threads of the tapestry that Big Bang wove. Some threads hold, others unravel. The Season 1 finale of Georgie and Mandy's First Marriage is a beautiful piece of storytelling. It celebrates love, growth, and resilience, values that transcend sitcom formulas. But it also asks viewers to perform mental gymnastics to reconcile the divergent paths of Georgie Cooper. It dares us to believe that the man who's now building a family and a future will, somewhere down the line, regress into the caricature Sheldon once described. Unless, of course, the Big Bang Theory was wrong. That may be the hidden genius of it all. Maybe the real point is to show that Sheldon's memory isn't gospel, that his social limitations may have skewed his perceptions, that Georgie, like so many people in our lives, was more than the roles we assigned to him. If so, then the finale doesn't deepen a plot hole. It redefines it as a mirror, one that reflects as much about Sheldon as it does about Georgie. Still, for fans who value tight continuity, the inconsistency is hard to ignore. Georgie has evolved beyond the goofball brother mold into a character who challenges our assumptions about success and maturity. The finale's heartfelt resolution might make for excellent television, but it leaves one glaring question hanging in the air. Did Sheldon ever really know his brother at all? Would you like a version of this turned into a video script, a blog post, or expanded into a full analysis?